If you're over 35 and every time you try to build mileage, your knee, Achilles, or hamstring flares up, and you try to rest, stretching, or even physical therapy, but the pain keeps coming back the second you run, this is exactly why. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to fix it in the next 90 days. Dr. Ray Peralta, physical therapist, run coach, and I've helped hundreds of runners get pain-free in the past 10 years and also hit PRs. So a big problem that many runners face is that when they'll get injured, they'll ignore it, or they think it's the pain is just tight muscles. So I just have to do some stretches, or it's from inflammation, so I just have to pop some anti-inflammatory pills, or I'm just getting older. So normally I'm over 40 or I'm over 50, but that's not all the real issue. After working with hundreds of runners, I can tell you that your pain is coming from how your body is actually handling the load, the demands of running, not just where it hurts, not because your knee pain hurts. It's just you have a problematic knee. No, oftentimes when your knee's hurting with running is because the demands of running are just overloading your body and it's causing you issues, right? And that's why rest alone doesn't fix it. Stretching doesn't typically fix it. And generic PT, although you may get some temporary relief because oftentimes you're just doing physical therapy and not running for those few months, it looks like, oh yes, I'm getting better. I don't feel the pain anymore. But the minute you start ramping up the mileage again, the pain returns or some other injury returns, because oftentimes in PT, they just focus on the injured body part, but don't show you how to bridge the gap to get into performance and do that in a safe manner and be pain-free. Because none of these actually fix the root cause. See, most folks don't realize that running is a high-impact sport, anywhere from 2 to 3 times your body weight. As you can see in this physics here, this image here, the biomechanics, every time your foot hits the ground, that's a ground reaction force or impact stress, loading on a single leg, by the way, right? So if you're 150 pounds, anywhere from 300 to 450 pounds of stress going through your leg. It's a high-impact sport. So your body has to be able to handle the demand, has to have the capacity to handle that load, the load tolerance, right? So another way to look at the running injuries, right? When the load exceeds your body's capacity, it breaks down, whether it's too much mileage, right? Trying to run more and more typically happens when you're training for a marathon or ramping up the speed workout or doing lots of hill training, etc. And then what decreases your body's capacity, right? Being sleep deprived and not eating well, and not having strong enough tissues. So all these things that decrease your body's capacity, even stress too, even if you're just stressed from work, that excessive stress hormones can also decrease your body's capacity. And if you want to copy this Google Doc to learn how to run pain-free, join my free school community for runners, a link in the description. So the solution, that's why I created the Athletic Runner Method. It's a 3-part system designed to fix the root cause, rebuild your body, and keep you running pain-free well into your golden years. So the first phase is find the real cause, right? I do a comprehensive assessment with runners both in person and online. Look what's going on, look at their movement, look at their strength, their mobility, even look at their running form. Right? I do a running form analysis, and even take a look at their lifestyle habits, right? Their training, their lifestyle, because knee pain always isn't just a knee problem. Achilles pain always isn't just an Achilles tendon problem. Sometimes the pain be coming from other areas like upstream or downstream. Here you can see a referral pattern for how a glute, where you think, it's just glute pain, but sometimes the hip can refer pain down into the thigh, or the back can refer pain all the way down into the calf or the Achilles, right? So these areas where you feel the pain may not actually be the actual cause or the source of the pain. It might have a different source. The second phase is actually rebuild your body. Again, your body needs to be strong enough to handle that 2 to 3 times body weight every time you take a step. And running alone is not a substitute for strength training. Running is a one-dimensional sport. Don't get me wrong, I love running, but many folks just want to run alone and ignore other aspects of fitness. You also need to do strength training 2 to 3 times a week, progressive loading, where you're actually getting stronger, not just staying at the same weights because you're afraid of getting hurt. You have to slowly progress the weights so you actually get stronger over time. And mobility that actually transfers over to running, right? Not just a quick 30-second calf stretch and call it a day. So exercises such as split squats, lunges, heavy squats, deadlifts, right? Here's lunges, great exercise, right? You want to start loading that up, right? In the very beginning, you start with body weight, but as you get stronger, you start adding weight and then making the weight even heavier, right? Don't be afraid of heavy lifting. So many runners are afraid of heavy lifting. Now, yes, there's a right way to do it, of course, because if you do the wrong, too much strength training can be too much volume on your body, and you could also break down and you'll have, overuse injuries related to lifting, right? So there is a balance in terms of how much strength training you should be doing in addition to your running. But again, I recommend just 2 to 3 times a week of strength training, paired with your running, and have enough recovery days. And if you're not sure what you're doing, that's why working with an expert can help you bridge that gap so you actually get a safe plan that takes into account your training history, your injury history, etc. Another thing to keep in mind is also having adequate mobility, right? A simple test you could do is do a deep squat. Can you do a deep squat and keep your, upright chest or torso or trunk, right? Can you keep your weight over your midfoot or your heel? If you can't get into a deep squat, a lot of times you have some mobility restrictions, whether it's in your hip, your back, your knees, your ankle, even your foot, your toes. So oftentimes improving your mobility, and a deep squat's a great kind of baseline test you can do to see, okay, what areas you need to work on, and start working on mobility daily, right? Mobility is such an important factor. And it's not just 30-second stretch. Sometimes I recommend mobility, some routines should take about at least 10 minutes, but even more, sometimes 20 minutes or longer. But mobility should be done daily. And if you're not sure, that's why, again, working with an expert, someone like myself, can help you uncover what are the tight or weak areas you need to work on. So the third phase I recommend is train smarter, not just more, not just running more miles or running more days of the week. Even if you're training for a marathon, you can actually get by on 3 runs per week. Yes, only 3 runs per week. And you can even do this for ultra marathon as well, right? Now, the exact type of running workouts may vary based on your ability level. If you're a complete beginner, it might just be easy runs 3 times a week. If you're a bit more intermediate, it might be a long run, a tempo run, a speed run, etc. But anyhow, I recommend at least 3 runs per week, cross training. And if you need to, again, if you're a complete beginner, it can be run walk method. But regardless, then combine it with proper recovery, so you can recover from your running workouts, getting enough sleep, eating right nutrition, controlling inflammation in your body, because when you have too much inflammation, that can contribute to pain as well. And this is why my clients don't just get pain-free, they stay pain-free, right? I like a holistic approach: movement, nutrition, rest, recovery, and even mindset. So one of my clients, Anna, a 47-year-old mom of 4, right, was dealing with chronic hamstring and Achilles pain, right? She tried PT, rest, but the pain would always come back. However, when we started working together, and we worked together online, by the way, completely online, did a movement assessment online, and we found that her hamstring pain was actually coming from her lower back, and her previous doctors and PTs had missed this. Right. So her back was actually causing her hamstring pain, and we started doing some back mobility drills, and the hamstring pain went away, and she was able to resume training, and she went on to run the marathon that same year. So instead of just chasing symptoms, we fixed the root cause. Her pain dropped where previously she tried a cortisone injection, PRP injection, and none of that stuff actually worked for her. But we started working together, boom, found the root cause, pain-free in 90 days, back to marathon training. She completed the New York City Marathon and actually went on to run multiple other marathons afterwards. There's her, all smiling on race day, just crushing it. So common concerns you might be thinking: I've tried PT before, but again, most PTs just isolate the one body part. Like, oh, I'm just going to use my insurance. Go to the local PT. Again, they don't fully address running mechanics. They don't specialize in getting you back to running at a high level. Many of them, again, they just focus on the body part and ignore the rest of the body. You just temporarily get better, but then when you get ramp up running again, you start training again, you get a re-injury. That same injury comes back, or another injury. I just need rest. Rest alone doesn't build capacity. It's a similar thing. You could rest. Don't get me wrong. You can rest. But when you rest, the pain does go away. But you ramp up the mileage again. The pain returns, because rest alone doesn't actually address the tissue capacity issue, the loading capacity. It doesn't actually address actually making you stronger, more mobile. Oh, I'll just find exercise online. I'll just watch some random YouTube videos or whatever. Again, without a proper assessment, you're just guessing, trying to piecemeal things together. Oh, this guy's YouTube, that post there, this book or whatever. Again, unless you actually know what you're doing, you're oftentimes guessing and not really addressing what's actually causing your pain. Oh, I'm just getting older. So I work with runners in their 40s, 50s, 60s. I even have a 70-year-old who I've worked with to get pain-free, run marathons, half marathons, whatever distance you want to run. But you don't, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to be in pain. That's a common myth. You don't have to be in pain because you're getting older. There is a way to get rid of pain even as you're older. I have a saying: if you're not dead yet, you can't quit. So don't give up hope on yourself just because you're getting older. There is a way to get pain-free. And oftentimes working with the right person can actually uncover what many other folks may have missed in the past. So who's this for? Runners over 35, 40s and up. Pain lasting more than 3 months or so. Training that keeps getting interrupted. And you want to run long term without breaking down, right? You want to enjoy running for longevity. So right now I'm opening 10 spots for my Running Pain-Free program. Doors close May 1st. It's not a generic plan. You'll get a full runner assessment, personalized plan, ongoing coaching and support. If you want to stop restarting your training every time you try to build up for a race, whether it's a half marathon, full marathon, or ultra, and fix the real problem and run pain-free for years, right? Instead of just that, trying to just survive the next race. Click the link below and book your free consult call. We'll identify what's causing your pain, give you a roadmap to running pain-free in 90 days. And once spots are filled, enrollment closes. So In conclusion, just because you're running, you've been dealing with some pain, you're getting a bit older, doesn't mean your career with running should end. It doesn't have to end. You just have to address what's causing the root problem that's causing your pain or injury. And oftentimes it's physical, it's mechanical, it's fixable. You can enjoy running pain-free well into, your 60s, 70s, and beyond. If you found this useful, hit the like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.